Hi, my name is Eileen Ryan. I'm an executive recruiter and a job search strategist. I am here with my superstar client who just landed her dream job. So, Shannon, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Shannon. I have spent a long career in the financial services industry, took time off from that, and took time to take care of family and take care of some sick family members at home, and took some time off for me, and then got back into the job market and quickly realized I needed some help.
So, we started working together. First of all, thank you for doing this. And why did you finally reach out for help? Because you had taken some time off, and how did you even find me? Because look, there's a lot of people out there. You could have chosen anyone. So I'd love to hear
Yeah,
your story.
sure. So I spent a long time at one company, and while I was a seasoned coach and manager and helped a lot of people look for jobs in my tenure in my career. I realized I hadn't done it for me externally in a very long time. So I spent a few months looking. I had a few interviews. I didn't get any jobs. And I realized, you know what? I am a person who always wants to keep learning and growing. I know what I know. I think I know a lot about how to interview, how to show up, how to speak articulately, but I don't know this modern day job market. So I went out on LinkedIn and I started to try to improve my presence and got overwhelmed quick. And I found you on LinkedIn. You just
Wonderful.
have these great snippets. You just have a great presence out there. And I love your concept of just, if you're curious, book 15 minutes with me. Here's a link. You just made it so easy. So I just didn't even think twice about it. I just said, 15 minutes can't hurt. I'm going to talk to this woman. She seems like she's got a strategy. And there we were.
And we had this lovely conversation and connected immediately. And really, my goal is to share the inside secrets from the view of the recruiter. There are so many people who are struggling through their job searches, and they don't understand why.
Right.
And it's almost like the recruiters are keeping these things secret, like magician's tricks. And I don't know why they're doing this. And I decided to cross the line and help the job seeker so this way they become employed. So we started with your job search, and we
Mhm.
started with personal branding because
Right.
we really worked on that resume based on your skill set and based on what you were targeting. And we also worked on the LinkedIn profile. Did you see the difference in what you started with and then what you ended up with?
I saw major differences. And I still say to this point, my resume before you helped me with it was pretty good. It wasn't
Yeah.
terrible. It was pretty good. I had skills. I know how to position myself, but it was dramatically different. Even just formatting, what words should pop out, how you describe yourself, how you get someone to look at it very quickly. So many, I mean, there's just a multitude of things we put into that resume that I just never had thought about. And that certainly is, like you say, super secret ninja tricks.
And that's behind the wall. So if people are interested, certainly they can sign up. But then
Yeah,
we moved on to part two, which is interview preparation. And
right,
it's not your first rodeo. You speak
right.
beautifully, okay? And you know what to do and how to present yourself. But this was a little different. So again, without sharing those super secret ninja tricks, did you feel better prepared going into the interviews?
I did. I felt so much more prepared. And that's the key word. It's preparing. So even though we all know within us what we want to talk about, we all know the jobs we've had. We think we know how to talk about what our successes were in the workplace, but you really help bring detail and structure to that preparation point so that really there's no question that could ever come up in an interview that I would need to stall and say, oh, I've never been stuck for a question now in any of my interview processes since I've worked with you.
Wonderful. Yeah, because I prepare you for anything that's thrown at you, and it's not based off of generic advice. It's what
Right.
are the recruiters actually listening for in your responses? And that's what's unique here. Because, as I said, I am an executive recruiter, so I'm sharing that information with job seekers. But then we moved on to part three, and this is the piece that everyone forgets. Like
Mm,
how to job search. So we created a specific job searching plan for you to attack the job market. That's really what fueled this job search.
it is. Yeah, let me say, this is for me. So all parts of your program were valuable for me, but this is the piece I really didn't know what I was doing. And and that's hard to say as a seasoned manager of people, leader, a person who has been through several jobs in my career. This is the piece of how in today's world, how do you use LinkedIn? How do you apply? How do you show up? How do you pound pavement? There's a reason your program is called what it is. And this is what I needed. That is truly what made the difference for me in my search.
And thank you so much for saying that. That is wonderful because I looked up your statistics because I'm always taking a look at statistics and always trying to improve this program. And from the day we launched until your signed offer letter, now there was a lot of time in between there, okay, because we were doing the search during the summer.
Right.
And people were on vacation, and then we had to wait for them to get back, and we had to wait for other people to get back, and we were going back and forth. But from start to finish, it was 90 days total.
Remarkable. Total.
And what was interesting is it was actually just an elongated interview process on the company side, because this
Right.
was one of the first jobs you actually applied for.
That's right. Yeah, and that's another learning, which is sometimes the process is slow and it's not necessarily you, and you just have to be patient and keep applying, and be really diligent about being out there, getting your presence on LinkedIn, and being actively applying. But sometimes it just takes time.
And sometimes it does, but you were able to take advantage of that time and speak to many different companies, see
I did.
behind the curtains. So this way you pick and choose the company that you want to work for.
Yeah.
So, first of all, congratulations on your new
Thank
job.
you.
Would you like
Thank
to
you.
make an announcement of what your position will be and where you're going?
Sure. Um, yeah, I'm taking a position. I work in the retirement industry. I'm taking a position at John Hancock Retirement in Boston, and it is working on participant outcomes. So working with all Americans who are trying to work toward reaching their retirement goals and having enough money to live on in retirement. And it's where I've spent the most of my career, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a nice change of pace for me.
You are going to be phenomenal at this job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, for all the people who are watching this, what do you recommend for them? Because the job searching process is difficult. So, what advice can you offer to them?
My advice is, even if you're confident and you've been out there and you've been applying and you've been working on looking for a job for a while, or even have moved a lot through a lot of jobs in your career, there are things you don't know. There just are. And so having an expert like you to rely on, to bounce things off of, not just the program, but really the opportunity to meet with you one-on-one and look at you every week and just bounce ideas off. Trust me, there are so many things you don't know because you're not a recruiter and you're not a job search strategist. You know you. But that's my biggest piece of advice. Take the time and work with an expert because you won't be sorry.
Thank you so much. Thank you for doing this. I greatly appreciate it. Good luck at your new job. You're going to be phenomenal.
Thank
And
you.
you're not going to be back to me because you're going to be there a very long time, I'm
That's so.
sure. But the door is always open. Thank you so much. My name is Eileen Ryan. I'm an executive recruiter and a job search strategist. My goal is to get you all hired rapidly. Thanks, Shannon.
Thank you.